Hello and welcome to Australia and welcome to Australian Book Travels. I thought you wouldn't mind if I just spent a few minutes with you today. I wanted to showcase a couple of Australian authors and an Australian set of books. I thought you may be interested in them, seeing them just before Christmas. If you don't know about them already, that is. But I think they would make great Christmas presents. But also the set of books that I want to show you are really good for Christmas preparation. So the first one I want to show you is a sort of a self-care or affirmation book suiting all ages, I would suggest. Probably not very young children, but maybe the 10 to 12 and beyond age group. Right into, mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers, I would suggest. I think it's a beautiful book by Australian author Lucy Cavendish. She has collaborated with American illustrator Dan May. This is Into the Lonely Woods, and on each page, Dan has illustrated, and Lucy has given you a paragraph of an affirmation or a self-care paragraph. They are absolutely beautiful. They're the type. This is the type of book that you could read just a page each night to bring comfort and a little bit of solace if you're feeling lonely or if you're feeling that you need a little bit of a boost. I read this in winter. You know those winter days when you just feel a bit moochy and you go to bed with a nice hot chocolate and perhaps a hot water bottle and you just want to read a really nice paragraph or a really nice book before bedtime, before you go to sleep. Well, Lucy Cavendish's book is definitely that. It's slim, there are not many pages, it is quite a nice size to be able to pop in the post. If you're wanting to send it off as a gift to someone, you could perhaps use it as a birthday or Christmas card, just write in the front, happy birthday or what have you. I've got my book plate there, but you could just write many happy returns or Merry Christmas or whatever the occasion may be. But it's a lovely, you could even actually put it in a stocking, Christmas stocking as well. But it's a lovely book and I recommend it. She's a lovely writer. So that's the first one I wanted to show you today. The second one is two books by Australian author Amelia. Now these are probably adolescent to young adult books, but I am far older than that and I thoroughly enjoyed both. The first one Amelia brought out was The Grandest Bookshop in the World. There are some historical facts, but it is a fantasy book. So the premise of it is that there are family, young children, and a bookshop owner who owns the grandest bookshop in the world in Melbourne, Australia. Now, the truth is, E.W. Cole did own a bookshop in Melbourne Central Business District in the 1800s. And he lived above it, the bookshop, or near the bookshop with his children and his wife. I think he had 5 or 6 children. Amelia gives you those historical facts at the back of the book, but the fantasy is based around the fantasy tale is based around the bookshop and the family of E.W. Cole. It is well written. It is a beautiful, you could almost say believable fantasy, actually. It's just lovely. I really enjoyed it. I was initially drawn to buying the book because of the cover. I thought it was exquisite cover, actually. It shines and it's just lovely. But the tale within is magical. It really is. And I recommend it for any age. You could even read it to young children, but certainly I recommend it if you want to buy it yourself I would definitely recommend it. Now, the book written after The Grandest Bookshop in the World is The Bookseller's Apprentice, but it is a prequel in actual fact, because E.W. Cole, who was the owner of the bookshop, actually had a bookstall in the marketplace that was in the Melbourne Central Business District in the 1800s. So he began in the bookstall. This is a tale about that bookstall and the magic that goes on, and some mystery as well. And then this is when he subsequently buys a shop in Melbourne. I think it was in Bourke Street. I can't remember. I would have to check it out. But the details are, Amelia has supplied the details of the historical facts in the back of the book. I think these are wonderful. Like I say, they are well written, and they're just a magical story with historical facts, which are really interesting. I thought we would go together perhaps to Melbourne. Amelia has suggested in the book that there are remnants of the apartments that were above the bookshop. There are remnants of that. So it would be interesting to go and search for them. I have tried on a couple of occasions searching, but it has been rather busy in Melbourne. So I thought perhaps we could go together and search for that in one of our travel videos. So I recommend those as well, and they're really good. They are a decent size, but they would make a lovely Christmas present or in a stocking. Beautiful. Now, the other thing I wanted to discuss with you was a set of books that began my journey of cooking many years ago. My first book is probably about a 14-year-old. I was given through, I think when we did home economics at school, the Australian Women's Weekly new cookbook. Now, this is probably now about 40 years old. It is not the grandest, it's not the prettiest of books, and it has fairly average recipes in them. I mean, they're good recipes and they're very reliable, but over the decades, Australian Women's Weekly have certainly improved. Not only the aesthetics of their books, but the range of recipes. And look, I bake and cook a lot. I bake my own cakes and biscuits, and I also make my own confectionery. And the recipes in these books, this is a Christmas book for the Christmas table. I'll just show you through that. They really have some lovely photos in them, but even better recipes. Oh, there you go. I have a tag in there where I've used it. And it's just floated to the ground. They are really reliable recipes. I would believe that they have a large error margin, because it just appears to me that no matter what you do, you cannot make a mistake with these recipes. They are absolutely fantastic. Everything from meals right through to confectionery, cakes and biscuits, they really are a reliable recipe. And as a cook, you really need that. You need them to be reliable. I can do almost anything with these recipes. I swap and change ingredients. I add more, I add less, and they never change. They are fantastic. They're really reliable. This one is Farmhouse Cooking. As you can see there, they have, again, my little paper from years ago. It's even slightly foxed, the paper, but they have really beautiful recipes in them. So this one is vegetarian. I am a vegetarian, and this is a really big, heavy one. But again, some beautiful recipes and beautiful photos in them of the finished products. Yes, really reliable book. So if you can get them, you certainly can get them in Australia. I don't know if you can get them overseas. but it may be worth looking online if you're watching from overseas, because truly they are, when you're cooking, you really need a reliable recipe, and no matter what I do with these recipes, they just always turn out. Now this one is the Country Collection. This is quite a few years old. It's probably, I probably bought this one, I had it given to me actually about 12 or 15 years ago. So, but the photos in this one are just beautiful. You could leave them out on your coffee table and just flick through them when you wish. Anyway, so that's the collection of Australian cookbooks. As I say, it's not authors, but it's an Australian company and Australian recipes. So thank you for watching. I'll leave you to finish your day wherever you are in the world. I wish you joy and happiness. Please do like and subscribe if you have found this informative or entertaining in any way. And I will see you in the next video, which I think we're travelling to Castlemaine, and then I think on from that I'm taking you to a place called Morong, but that'll be in a couple of weeks' time. In between times we'll have some showcasing of some Australian authors and doing some book reviews and things like that. So I wish you well, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye for now.